My friend, what a real gem. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, but more importantly, Neil Young. Now, I love Crosby, Stills, and Nash, but that's more like old school, deja vu stuff like that. Not a big fan of Neil Young and his voice like Bob Dylan. However, the music that they write is amazing. I've played thousands of shows, and I always end up playing some song where when the song gets over, I say, cool, what was that? And they're like, Neil Young. I have no clue. Long story short, this song I've never heard, but it sounds exactly what I wish Heart of Gold sounds like. For me, when I hear, now to take home in a heart of gold, it's just nails on the chalkboard. However, what do I know? I'm a dummy. This song, however, I really enjoy the way that this sounds. It feels exactly like it, but it's not as busy. There's not as much moving, and you really get to hear Neil's voice. And granted, the melody is very close, but we're going to be playing this one in the key of G major. I'm going to show you 3 chords, which that's the entire song, except for the bridge or the chorus or the harmonica solo. But it's pretty simply inside of a key structure. We're going to be in the key of G major in the beginning, and then we're going to move to the key of C, but this can be explained through the eyes of C major. Just it's a lot of theory, blah, blah, blah. So if you want to, this video is going to take about 5 minutes. Learn how to play this Neil Young classic. It's called Slow Poke. When we play this G major chord, you can include other notes inside of here to fill it out. You can play it as a bar chord, but I believe from what I'm hearing, the voicing is there's an open A B hammer on, open D, and then a hammer on E, and then it plays out the full G major triad. You might catch a little bit of that D in there, but it's already in the chord of G, B, D. So now it calls for an E major sus, but it's calling for an E dominant 7 sus, which means you can play what looks like an A major, but move that whole grouping from the 2, 3, 4 strings down to the 3, 4, 5 strings. So you're including this B, the E, and the A, and then the D on top of it gives us this feeling of suspense, and then it goes to an E minor. Personally, I'd have watched the video, but I would assume that the simpler the better in this case. You could also go up to the 7th fret, and you can play all of the notes that are on this bottom stretch. I assume that's what Neil's doing because he can just wrap his finger right around it and then go to the E minor here if you want, or E minor here, or anything. So if you're playing it here, you'd have a G major, and then you'd have a big old, like an 11 chord, and then you would play an E minor. It's relatively back and forth the same chord, G, E minor, they share a key signature. So what we're hearing is, something opened up and the gates again. I can't control it, it's so rushed right in. Here comes a mermaid and a little girl. Saw open doors from around the world. I got some medals hanging on my chest. I've seen some good ones, but I missed the rest. Lady Luck, don't you turn on me. Then harmonies come in. I'm just a student of your history. I'm just a student of your history. Slow folk, I'm gonna run with you. Wear all your clothes, do what you do. Slow folk, we've got some things to find. When I get faster, I'm always behind. When I was faster, I was always behind. C major, B minor, C major again, to the G major, C major, B minor, A minor, D, C, sus to D. Actually, this can be explained through the eyes of G, the whole thing. So G major, and then to an E major 7 with that 9 chord. The idea is, this program I'm looking at called it that, but hypothetically, you don't have to hear the voicing as that. Call it an E minor 9 and just get rid of it. The reason why is whenever you play anything above the octave, like the 9 or the 11 or the 13, you must have the passing note. Now, in the key of E major or E minor, that note is D major or a D or D sharp. D sharp is the major 7th, D natural is going to be the minor 7th. So when we play this B, E, A here, we've got the sus note included, right? Because when we play F sharp, when we get rid of F sharp, we're looking for that G. Well, our G note can be considered open right here. So E minor, right? So the idea about having all those different notes, if you have an E, G, B for your note right there and you add that D in there, you're completely fine. As far as the note that we're looking for, we want something that kind of holds the tone over the top. That's it. Now, the other sounds good here, and then you can play an E minor if you want up top. Either way, what a fun song. After it does the bridge, which is a 4 chord, 3 chord, and then a 4 chord, and then a 1 chord, and then a 4 chord, 3 chord, 2 chord, and then 5 chord, but a 5 sus, and then back to 5. If you enjoyed the way this was explained and you dig this channel, subscribe, why don't you? Put something cool in the comment section and become part of our music community. Aloha to you.